Harley-Davidson and Porsche. Two names that, on paper, seem like they belong in entirely different universes. Harley represents heritage, emotion, and raw mechanical identity. Engines that rumble, shake, and make you feel alive under your hands. Porsche represents precision, efficiency, and obsessive engineering, where every millimeter of metal serves a purpose, and performance is everything. For decades, these worlds never overlapped. Harley thrived on tradition, while Porsche thrived on innovation. But in the late 1990s, Harley-Davidson found itself facing a future it could no longer ignore, a future that forced the company to step outside its comfort zone, and in doing so, created one of the most radical motorcycles in its history. At the time, Harley-Davidson was financially healthy and culturally iconic. Its motorcycles were a lifestyle, not just a mode of transport. But beneath that image, a serious problem was brewing.
The Clean Air Act is a step in the right direction, but it would have been more effective without concessions to the automakers. Approximately 40% of air pollution is attributable to motor vehicles.
Emissions regulations were tightening, especially in Europe and increasingly in the United States. Noise limits and environmental restrictions meant that Harley's classic air-cooled V-twin engines, the very heart of the brand, could no longer deliver the performance they always had without violating these new standards. Simply tweaking existing designs would not be enough. The company needed a modern, compliant engine, one that could still embody Harley's character without sacrificing torque or presence. Developing such an engine internally would take years, time Harley didn't have. The company was up against a ticking clock. Traditional Harley engines were low revving, heavy, and built for feel rather than outright speed. Competing manufacturers, from Japanese sport bikes to European performance cruisers, were already producing faster, smoother, and more technologically advanced motorcycles. Harley had to act fast, and that meant looking outside the company for expertise. The solution? Porsche engineering. It's important to note that this was Porsche engineering, not the car division you see at dealerships. Porsche engineering had decades of experience designing high-performance engines and consulting on complex mechanical projects for other companies. They understood high-revving, liquid-cooled engines better than almost anyone. Harley brought their knowledge of brand identity, torque delivery, and the feel of a Harley, and Porsche brought technical expertise in combustion efficiency, cooling systems, and high RPM performance. Together, they had an ambitious goal: to create an engine that could pass modern emission standards, make serious horsepower, and still feel like a Harley-Davidson. The result of this collaboration was the Revolution engine. It was a completely clean sheet design, unlike anything Harley had done before. Where traditional Harleys used a 45-degree V-twin with push rods and air cooling, the Revolution engine was a 60-degree V-twin, liquid-cooled, with dual overhead cams and 4 valves per cylinder. It was designed to rev high, produce over 115 horsepower, and survive the strictest emissions regulations without losing performance. Porsche's engineers helped design the cylinder heads, combustion chambers, and cooling system, ensuring precision, reliability, and durability. Harley focused on the emotional delivery, how the engine felt, how it delivered torque, and how it sounded. The goal was always to maintain the unmistakable Harley presence while embracing modern engineering. Once the engine was complete, Harley had to decide how to showcase it. The result was a motorcycle that would shock the industry and Harley fans alike, the Harley-Davidson V-Rod.
And the newest member of our family, the Harley-Davidson V-Rod.
It's gonna rock the motorcycle world.
Man, I just can't believe it.
Introduced in 2001, the V-Rod was unlike any Harley before it. Its design was long, low, and muscular, with aggressive lines and a futuristic presence. The frame was hydroformed for rigidity and modern geometry, while the engine sat low in the chassis to improve balance and handling. The bike's proportions and ergonomics were a clear break from tradition, stretched out and performance-oriented, but still undeniably a Harley. The V-Rod wasn't just a new engine on a familiar frame. It was a complete reimagining of what a Harley could be. When the V-Rod debuted, reactions were immediate and polarized. Performance enthusiasts were thrilled. Here was a Harley that could genuinely compete with sport bikes in a straight line, with acceleration, handling, and stability that were previously unimaginable for the brand. It was smooth, it could rev past 9,000 RPM, and it didn't overheat in traffic like traditional air-cooled Harleys. For a new generation of riders who wanted performance without abandoning style, the V-Rod was perfect. It offered muscle, speed, and precision, all while wearing the Harley badge. But for longtime Harley loyalists, the V-Rod was controversial. The engine didn't sound like the classic V-twin. It didn't shake the same way. The riding experience felt too refined, too clinical, and some fans outright rejected it. To them, Harley had compromised its soul in pursuit of numbers and engineering metrics. Discussions erupted across forums, dealerships, and motorcycle publications. Some embraced it as a bold step forward, others saw it as a betrayal. The involvement of Porsche only added fuel to the fire. The idea that Harley had outsourced engineering, even to an elite brand, was shocking to traditionalists. Despite the controversy, the V-Rod carved out a unique place in Harley's lineup. The Revolution engine proved to be highly reliable and adaptable. It quickly became popular with drag racers and custom builders who appreciated the strength and tuning potential of the engine. Harley expanded the lineup with variations like the Night Rod, which emphasized performance and styling even further. Over time, the V-Rod became a cult classic, a bike that represented rebellion not just on the road, but within the company itself. Harley had created a motorcycle that challenged expectations and forced both fans and engineers to rethink what a Harley could be. The V-Rod also had a lasting influence on Harley-Davidson's engineering direction. Even after the model was discontinued in 2017, the lessons learned from the Revolution engine helped shape modern Harley platforms. Liquid cooling became more common, performance-focused models gained prominence, and the company grew more willing to innovate without completely abandoning its heritage. In essence, the V-Rod was a bridge between Harley's past and its future, a motorcycle that proved tradition alone couldn't sustain the brand. The collaboration with Porsche was not just about the engine or a single motorcycle. It represented a philosophical experiment. Harley wanted to stay relevant without losing identity, and Porsche provided the technical expertise to make that possible. Together, they produced a motorcycle that was radical, controversial, and ultimately transformative. The V-Rod was a Harley in spirit, a Porsche in precision, and a statement to the entire industry. Innovation sometimes requires breaking the rules and shaking the very foundations of what a brand represents. Today, the V-Rod is remembered as a turning point. It is admired for its engineering, respected for its boldness, and loved by those who appreciate Harley's willingness to take risks. It may not have satisfied every purist, but it forced the motorcycle world to ask uncomfortable questions about tradition, identity, and progress. Harley-Davidson and Porsche didn't just make a motorcycle together, they made a statement. They showed that even the most heritage-driven brands must evolve, and that collaboration between seemingly incompatible worlds can produce something truly remarkable. In the end, the V-Rod stands as one of the most unusual and fascinating chapters in motorcycle history. It's a Harley that broke every rule, a machine that combined emotion with engineering, and a product of a partnership that few would have imagined possible. Harley and Porsche proved that when tradition meets innovation, the result isn't just a motorcycle, it's a revolution. So, what do you think? Genius move by Harley and Porsche, or a betrayal of tradition? Comment below. If you enjoyed this story, hit like and subscribe for more wild automotive tales, and tell me, which brand should Harley team up with next?